Hello, I'm Prem Tipster and I'm going to help you in deciding who to captain for Game Week 2. I've been gathering data and analysing it in great depths to assist you in making the safest pick. Last week my captain obtained 14 points, which I feel content about. This week I believe there are two standout options available. Bruno Fernandes and once again Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. You could take a punt on the likes of Rashford, Martial, Salah against Chelsea, or an Everton player at home to West Brom, but I wouldn't advise doing so because of the risk. First of all, Manchester United did have a blank in Game Week 1, so it's best practice to use the data after the restart for both players to provide a level playing field. I will then summarise the data from Game Week 1 for Aubameyang as well, which might give a slightly better indication of his form. Just bear in mind for the upcoming statistics that I will not be incorporating the penalty goals into any of the expected goals. I will touch up on the penalty appeal at some point later on in the video though. So just to clarify, I will discuss the goals from open play first, because they offer a more sustainable way of getting points. We'll start off with the expected goals per 90 minutes. Fernandes only had just over one expected goal per 4 games with 0.26, whilst Aubameyang had 0.39. Bruno did have 0.22 expected assists though, compared to Aubameyang's 0.13. The Gabonese did average 0.05 more expected goal involvements per match, which isn't much to go by. But if we apply a ×5 multiplier to their goals and a ×3 multiplier to their assists, then we can see a comparison that is more relevant to FPL. The Portuguese had 1.96 expected FPL return points, but Aubameyang came out on top with 2.34, a figure which is 0.38 higher than his competitor. Now let's have a look at the actual goals and assists. Something we need to remember is Fernandes played 73 minutes less than Aubameyang, so I will compare both players' returns to their own expected goal involvements and not each other's. Fernandes scored 3 goals, which means he outscored his expected goals by 0.83, which is clinical finishing. Even better than that, he got 4 assists, which is 2.18 higher than his expected assists. Aubameyang scored 4, which was 0.41 higher than his expected goals. He also assisted 2, which was 0.8 higher than his expected assists. This shows that Aubameyang was on decent form, but Bruno was on top form. For those of you who are considering Aubameyang up until this point, it's time to talk about the elephant in the room. Penalties. Over the past 2 full seasons, in a sample size as big as 760 Premier League matches, Manchester United were awarded 26 penalties. The average Premier League team was awarded just 8.89 in the same period of time, which is almost 3 times less. So even though both of them do take penalties for their respective clubs, Fernandes does have the advantage. Nicolas Pepe and Marcus Rashford do chip in with the odd penalty here and there. It wouldn't be a fair comparison without looking at the quality of the opposition's defence. United's opponents Crystal Palace did have a 1.26 expected goals against figure, however, they did cling on to a clean sheet against Danny Ings' Southampton side at home. West Ham had a 0.4 higher expected goals against figure with 1.66. They also conceded 2 goals against the new-look Newcastle attack at home. Both captain contenders have the home advantage this week, which obviously benefits both options. Whilst this video is being recorded, if you put £1 on Fernandes to score any time, and he does, then you will receive £1.30 profit. Whereas if you put £1 on Aubameyang to score, you will only win 67 pence. To summarise those odds, the bookmakers are massively favouring Arsenal's talisman to score. There is no market to bet for assists, which Bruno would have a better chance, but it would be nowhere near enough to compete with Aubameyang. Fantasy Football Fix's algorithm is currently predicting Aubameyang to get 6.2 points and Fernandes to get 5.6 as well. I will leave a link in the description for their website. We'll have a quick look at Aubameyang's numbers from Game Week 1, then we will make a verdict. His expected goals was 0.28, which was not quite as good as his post-restart tally, but still better than Fernandes's. His expected assist was a measly 0.06. He did play 90 minutes, which shows he is match fit. His expected goal involvement wasn't anything special with 0.35, but he did score a goal, which means he outscored his expected goals by 0.72. And he didn't register any assists, unlike Willian, who somehow managed 3. Now it's time for a conclusion. Bruno Fernandes was very impressive after the restart, as he hit the ground running in the Premier League. He displayed a high level of creativity and some clean finishing. His penalty appeal is massive too, but it's extremely unlikely that he will more than double Aubameyang's non-penalty expected goals to goal ratio and his expected assist to assist ratio again. The penalties are definitely not just a coincidence as are debunked for Manchester United, but they are not a reliable source of points and are impossible to try and predict. So my captain this week is, of course, Aubameyang. One of the main things that helped me in deciding who to pick was the fact that Crystal Palace kept a clean sheet whilst West Ham United conceded 2 goals. His expected FPL return points, anytime goal scorer odds at the bookies, and fantasy football fixed points projection accumulate to point us in the right direction. He did score in his first match, so I'm hoping he will add more to that tally this week. Another statistic that supports the decision is he scored 11 goals in 12 matches against the bottom 6 sides last season, a position where West Ham could easily end up again this season. Sorry for the harsh reality for any Hammers fans out there. I hope I helped you in making the right decision for this week's captaincy. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any more of my weekly captain analysis videos. Also, if you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like because it really helps me out. I wish you all the best in Game Week 2. I'll see you here again next week.